Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here. And that's Hattie and Penny's down here. Say hi, girls. They're tired out, y'all. I realized that I haven't talked about my favorites from the drugstore slash just like my affordable favorites in a really long time, and I like to provide those options for people as well because there was a time in my life where I could not afford and did not buy high-end makeup, even though obviously a lot of the things that I use and like and my favorites are from Sephora or higher end products. The drugstore makes some really good ass stuff. And if you don't believe me, look at my face today. I have on an entire face of drugstore makeup. We're gonna talk about all of the products that I have on today. We have a lot of different categories. We have some coverage primers, concealer, highlighter, a lot of lip products, a few blushes and mascaras. These are just kind of things that I've bought recently that I feel like I haven't highlighted on my channel that I want you to know about as options that are just as good as my high-end favorites. Obviously, this is not an all-encompassing list. I have a lot more drugstore makeup than this, but these are things that were launched semi-recently or that are new to me that I want you to know about. So if you are interested in learning more, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. We talk about skincare, makeup, we do hauls, we talk about the drugstore beauty, we do vlogs, and I would love to have you subscribe. Okay, so we're just gonna go by category and kind of work our way down on how I do my makeup. I also am going to do this a little bit quicker than usual because I have a lot here. So if there is something that you want a specific review on, like a more in-depth review, let me know. I can make like a YouTube short on it or something like that, a more dedicated video. Also, it's the first day in 100 years that it hasn't been over 80 degrees. It's like 70, 75 right now. So I wanna go outside. So let's chat. Okay, primers, okay? If you know me or you followed me for a while, you know I'm not really a primer girl. That has somewhat changed this year, and I wouldn't even call it that I'm a primer girl. It's just that I used to think a primer meant that it had to be a pore filling primer, something mattifying that was going to make you matte, because that's the way it used to be. But now there are so many different hydrating primers and glowy primers out there that I'm really starting to dip my toes into it. My number one favorite primer that I have used all year is the Neutrogena Radiant Primer and Serum from the Healthy Skin line. This is basically a peptide-based product, and it is the most beautiful, sort of neutrally looking, hydrating, glass skin-like primer at the drugstore. The ingredients are great for the skin. It's basically like glycerin, squalene, and peptides with a little bit of a brownish looking pigment in here just to add a little bit of glow to the skin naturally. I love this so much. I honestly think you could use this in your skincare routine, but it doesn't have enough benefits for me to add it into my skincare routine, but I do like to use it as my first hydrating step while I'm doing my makeup. It is absolutely gorgeous. If you don't want to drop a bunch of money on a simple hydrating primer that you would get from like Refi, for example, which I really like, this will do the trick. I'm telling you. The other option that I wanted to mention as a primer, because you can use it as a primer, but you can use it as a million other things as well, is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This has been viral for a little while now. I actually had a viral video on this because it is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. It is. This is the closest dupe I've ever found to that product, and that is one of my favorite products, if not my desert island product in life. So it has similar packaging. It's in a glass packaging. It has a super big doe foot, and it comes in a shade range just like the Hollywood Flawless. This can be worn in a multitude of ways. You can wear it under your foundations, you can use it alone, you can use it on top of foundations, you can mix it into foundations. I typically like to use this as a pinpointed highlight, but you absolutely can use this as a primer, especially if you're wearing a more matte foundation, and I do that sometimes. So I wanted to bring this up as an option because I do believe it is $6 or maybe a little bit more than that, but the Hollywood Flawless Filter is $45, okay? So if you can find it, good luck to you. It's literally out of stock everywhere right now, but I have a feeling it will just keep coming back because they know they have something good here. e.l.f. is absolutely killing it this year. Also, sorry, I don't know all of the pricing off the top of my head, but I will have everything linked down below. All right, let's get into some of the coverage products. Let's start today with what I'm wearing on my face. I've actually never talked about this before, but I use it and it is amazing. This is the Wet n Wild Tinted hydrator. Okay, this is their answer to the skin tint. Again, great ingredients, hyaluronic acid, squalene. It's a lightweight, non-greasy finish, sheer coverage, and I am in the shade light medium. This is beautiful. There's no SPF in this product, so again, I kind of really love that, and including the next product as well. I like a skin tint with little to no SPF depending on what time of the day I'm wearing it, because I'm always going to use the proper amount of SPF before I do my makeup anyways. This is beautiful. It leaves an absolutely gorgeously dewy to natural finish to the skin. It's not like crazy dewy. Like, to me, the dewiest option would be the Say Slip Tint. It's not quite there. It is somewhere in between matte and that, which is a natural finish. It's again what I have on today. I don't feel the need to set this with a powder. So inexpensive and absolutely beautiful. If you haven't tried it, you totally should. I think everyone would love that. And going along the same lines, again, Neutrogena this year absolutely killing it with their products. This is the Sensitive Skin Serum Foundation from Neutrogena. Pro Vitamin B5. It's, again, no SPF, and I have mine in shade light medium too. This is, I think, my favorite drugstore skin tint, full stop. I like it better than the Wet n Wild. I like it better than the one I'm about to show you in a minute. And I do think that it is the closest dupe to the Summer Fridays skin tint that I have been able to find in my collection. I'm still testing out a lot of skin tints. Like every single day I try something new, but this is definitely the closest. It's gorgeous. It's a little dewy. It sets down beautifully. It looks incredibly natural. And if you can find one in your shade, this is 1000% worth it, especially if you're more combo to dry. Now, talking about one that actually does have SPF, this is a newer product to me, and sorry, I cannot get the label to come off. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radium Serum Foundation Sunscreen SPF 50. I will pop in a video of me using this. My shade is a little warm for me. I'm in shade Golden Vanilla 45. I probably should have gone down a shade. This is definitely not going to work for me in the winter, but this is a beautiful serum foundation. I would totally agree that it fits into a serum foundation category because it is so thin and lightweight and easy to blend. It's very glowy, but not too glossy and not too like sticky. It doesn't make you look greasy, but it feels hydrated. And I love the fact that it is SPF 50 to get that extra coverage on the skin, because I feel like a lot of the times it ends up being SPF 15, SPF 22 or something random like that. No, L'Oreal said SPF 50 or bust. It's beautiful. It's a very concentrated product, but it does spread really nicely on the skin and shears out to a beautiful finish. I really like this, you guys, especially if you're looking for something that has a little bit more coverage during the day and you're gonna be out and about. Try it out. And that is a chemical-based sunscreen in here, so just keep that in mind. So both of the concealer options that I'm gonna show you, for some reason I decided not to wear, and I'm wearing the Future Fluid from Milk Makeup, which is obviously not from the drugstore, because these were on the other table and this table's over here, and I just like out of sight, out of mind, which I actually just bought a bunch of new organizers from IKEA, and I'm gonna have like a huge desk so that I can have all my makeup in one place. Very excited for that. So I think I'm probably gonna do a video kind of reorganizing my room. But anyways, these are amazing. Let's talk about them. We have the Age Perfect Radiant Concealer from L'Oreal and the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer from the Healthy Skin line. So this is the Healthy Skin. This is the Age Perfect, and we're gonna talk about one more product from the Age Perfect line in just a minute. So we'll start with Age Perfect. This is stunning. I actually have this in 2 shades because the first shade that I bought was a little light for me. This is in the shade Natural Beige 215, works great on me. Something about this concealer makes my under eyes feel so hydrated and almost like light reflecting opalescent. It's not that, like don't get scared, it is not that. And I think I talked about this in a previous video, and if I did, I'll pop in a clip, but it just looks as if your under eyes are brighter, even if you have the correct shade. It's just giving something. I really couldn't tell you what it is. The radiant part of the concealer is totally there for me. It is a radiant concealer. It's absolutely beautiful. I prefer this over the other one that I'm gonna show you, but they're both gorgeous. Totally worth your money, and I think that these work very, very well together if you just wanted to go down the Age Perfect line. And the other option is the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer, which I'm pretty sure that's the NARS name. The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, I'm just saying. Another great option. It's a lower coverage. It's a little bit more mattifying than the L'Oreal, but it is absolutely beautiful. And it has somewhat of a thicker doe foot, so you can really use it on multiple areas of the face if you'd like to spot conceal with it. I like to travel with this because it's in a plastic tube and it's just like easy to throw around. I love this. This one also has peptides in it, antioxidants in it. That's kind of like the whole Neutrogena. Look at this. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin trio right here. I'm telling you guys, the Healthy Skin and the Age Perfect line slept on. And I am in shade Bisque, which is light medium 2, which matches my light medium 2 in this. So I'm just saying, that's an easy way to figure out your shade as well. They're pretty much always the same with Neutrogena, but those are both absolutely beautiful concealer options. And you guys know I'm very picky about my concealer. So I don't really have a ton of new face products as much as I do the other products that we're talking about, but I do have a few, and 2 of them I just talked about in my last video, which was a fall haul, but I felt like I wanted to bring them up again, and that is the Milani liquid highlighter and liquid contour from their Conceal and Perfect line. I was nervous about these because their Conceal and Perfect foundation is very high coverage, can be used as a concealer and as a foundation, but these are not that. These are very lightweight, very like dewy, everyday friendly, and I actually mentioned in that video that this contour was too light for me, but I decided to test it out today as a bronzer, and that is what I'm wearing. It worked so well. I think especially in the winter, this could be really great for me as it blends out very dreamy, very beautiful, very liquidy, and I'm not usually into a liquid bronzer. I usually like a cream. This is gorgeous. It's also got a natural finish. It's not mattifying and it's definitely not dewy. So I really, really like this, and this is in the shade 1. I was surprised that that shade worked for me. And then the highlighter is also in shade 1, which is in Lunar. This is a beautiful gold highlight, okay? So if you're looking for gold, you're gonna get it with this, but it's gonna be like this lightweight, easy to wear gold and not too much up front. You know, sometimes you wear a gold highlighter and it looks like a stripe of gold on your face. That's not what you get with this, but it is more gold than what I would typically go for, which I think is very pretty for fall. Obviously, both of these are available at Ulta and probably in your drugstore. Super pretty. And again, as I mentioned, you can use the e.l.f. as a pinpointed highlight. That's actually what I have on today, and I will show you that in a video, but they're absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. I really like both of those, and I know that they have a corrector line in the Conceal and Perfect Mother line. So check it out. Okay, diving into blushes, these are 2 that I've been wearing more recently. I actually picked this one up with the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, and this is the one that I am wearing today. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow blush in the shade Floral Majority. This is gorgeous. I have another shade of this one, and it is a dupe for a Charlotte Tilbury blush, but this one is my favorite because these are sort of cream to powder formulas. The other one has a bit of a shimmer in it, and it just comes off a little bit chunky. I've actually just kind of strayed away from more glittery blushes recently just because I feel like, I don't know, I've been just wanting a matte look. So this is perfect for that. It does offer you more of a matte blush, as you can see, but it is really easy to apply. I like to put it on my brush first and then tap it into the skin, but could easily be worn with your fingers. Again, this has got to be $2, and this shade is like the most perfect terracotta-y, like classic rosy cheek shade ever. And the other one I actually bought because this blush was covered in strawberries at one point. I will pop in a picture so you can see what it originally looked like, but it was an overlay, sadly, which I should have expected that. I also, you know, I'm kind of tired, Physicians Formula, of this. We don't need this. Nobody's using this. Nobody's using this. Just give us this. We don't need such a crazy packaging. You know what I mean? If you're watching. But this is in the shade Strawberry Jam. You can kind of see where the strawberries once were, but this is a super light pink blush, and it looks like it would be too light for my skin tone, but something about when it's layered with another blush, it just really makes your cheeks look very rosy and cute and kind of pinched. And I feel like it settles into a darker pink. Like, I don't know how, and it's so soft. It's so finely milled. I'm gonna like test that and see if it does go a little bit darker on my hand, because like obviously that looks a little chalky, but I have it on right now on top of this, and it doesn't look chalky at all. I think if you have a lighter skin tone, this is probably better for you. I don't think this is gonna work on deep skin tones, but Physicians Formula does have other colors that would work. This also smells like strawberries, which I don't love. It kind of smells like plastic strawberries, but I still really like the color. And Physicians Formula really knows what they're doing with powders. It still looks kind of chalky, huh? I swear it doesn't look like that on the face. Just be aware if you see something cute from Physicians Formula, it's probably an overlay. or an overspray, whatever that's called. All right, we're getting into eyes and lips. I don't have a ton or any eyeshadows to show you actually, because I do find that drugstore eyeshadows are pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very hard to find a good one. There are some cream ones like pencil sticks that are easier to use, but I don't have any on hand and I don't wanna just make some up for the sake of this video. But I do wanna talk about mascaras and eyebrows. These are two categories that could absolutely be bought at the drugstore over and over and over and just as good, if not better than high end. So we'll start with the eyebrows. This is my duo that I have on today. This is the NYX Micro Pencil and I have the shade Auburn because I'm trying to match my red hair. This is the same thing as the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I mean, every brand has duped it at this point. Super small pencil tip. The other side is a spoolie. You've seen it before. You probably own one of these. This is my favorite one that I've tried. I have tried, obviously the L'Oreal is great. Maybelline has one. I mean, every single brand at the drugstore has one. This one is the smallest, the skinniest, and like the most hair-like that I have found, with really good shades for different hair colors. There's not much more I can say about it besides don't waste your money with brow products at Sephora. And then I layered it with the NYX Thickening Brow Mascara. That was an interesting terminology to describe this product. It's a brow gel, okay? And I actually haven't pulled this out in a little while, but I decided to because I remember that it really made my brows look super fluffy, which is my favorite look. My favorite sort of duo of a brow thing is if it's fluffy, but it has the crunchy hold, okay? I know not everyone likes the crunch, but to me, if it's not crunchy, then it's just gonna move throughout the day, and what was the point of putting it in? So if it can look fluffy and soft, but feel like laid down and crunchy, it's the best duo, because no one's gonna come up to you and touch your eyebrows to check if they're crunchy or not. You just want them to stay in place. And this totally gives you that fluffy yet crunchy effect in the best way, while also offering like a bit of color to the eyebrows and adding a little bit of fibers. I have not noticed the fibers. I don't know if you can see the fibers in here kind of sticking out of the wand. I've never noticed the fibers like falling out into my eyes. I know that's an issue with people who have sensitive eyes. I've never noticed that. Only other thing I will say about this product is that the wand being as fat as it is, if you have small eyebrows, this might be a problem for you because it does kind of get everywhere. I like to scrape off the excess before I go in. I just wish that the brush was a tiny bit smaller because the product inside is so good. All right, moving on to mascaras. I have two to talk about that are my current favorites that just happen to be in my everyday makeup up here that I did not plan. They're just that good. I will say right now I do not have a lash lift. I typically do, and I'm actually going to get one tomorrow. And I have not curled my lashes. So what you see is really just me going in with these and nothing else. On my right side, I have the Age Perfect from L'Oreal, and on the left side, I have the Plush Lash mascara from LA Girl. So this one I want to recommend, but I'm very concerned about if it's possibly being discontinued. This is a tubing mascara within a line of mascaras that is not tubing. Very confusing. I have a whole video on tubing mascaras talking about both of these, so I don't want to get into it too much, but just make sure you're looking for the blue sign that says waterproof and washable. Easy to remove, waterproof, that is the one you want to go for. Basically, these remove with warm water and they do not smudge throughout the day. I really like the shape of both of these brushes. I am a natural bristle wand kind of girl, so these work so well for me and they give me this beautiful fanned out look. But my number one favorite is the LA Girl Plush Lash. I love the shape of this wand. It's a little bit skinnier. It's got a slight hourglass shape. Again, it is a natural bristle wand and it just really gives you that fluttery look. Absolutely gorgeous, completely comes off clean with water and does not smudge. These are also both very inexpensive. So good. Okay, so I saved a lot of product for last for the lips, okay? Luckily, it's really just 3 products, but I wanted to show you the range of these glosses. You guys know I've been into lip oils lately. It's just my thing. I think they're so comfortable. I love the shine that it gives. Actually, you know, I'm gonna step back one and talk about the lipstick first because that is what I have on, and then we'll talk about the lip oils and glosses. So the lipstick color that I have on is from e.l.f., and this is the Hydrating Core Lip Shine, and this is in the shade happy. This is gorgeous. I love any lipsticks that include somewhat of a hydrating nature to them so that they are less matte and more comfortable on the lips. So the inside of these, again, is like this core of like a lip balm. So it kind of shears out the color a little bit on the lips. This is kind of my perfect nude. Like a more washed out nude than I would typically go for, but still looks so pretty. This is also a great base for lip glosses. It's so comfortable on the skin. And again, you do not need to spend a lot of money on a lipstick. Lipsticks at the drugstore are so freaking good. And this one from e.l.f. is crazy inexpensive. And what I have on top of it is This Is Juice Gloss from NYX. These are listed as a gloss. They're not a gloss. These are a lip oil. Absolutely a lip oil. And I'm wearing the shade Strawberry Flex on top. And I'll do a swatch for you, but I really don't know how much you're gonna see of the color because they are a more sheer formula, but they still show up on the lips, which I love because to me, if I'm like gonna put on a color, I want it to show up. I'm so bad at swatches, you guys. I don't know if you've figured that out yet. And if you have, you're still here. That's so nice. Okay, so obviously this middle shade here in Pomegranate Clout is the most pigmented, but this is the Strawberry Flex Pomegranate Clout, and the top one is in Watermelon Sugar. So this is more of an orangey shade, a classic coral, and then this more peachy pink shade that I have on top of the gloss. These are so good. They look crazy pigmented in here. They're obviously not. This one is a little bit, but they feel so good on the lips, you guys. They also each have their own scent, and they are very much like candy vibes. Yeah, but they're great. They're so good. And I just wish that they had been called a lip oil because I feel like they would have done better if they were a lip oil, because that's just kind of what people are into right now, even though lip oil and lip gloss are pretty much the same thing. It's just deciding for a brand to say, hey, this is a lip oil. I mean, look at that. That is some pigment, okay? But someone who did it right and labeled it as a lip oil is Essence. I've talked about this many, many times. Either here on my TikTok, quick plug, it's at Rudi Berry on TikTok and at the Rudi Berry on Instagram. If you want to learn more about product breakdowns, etc., I would love to have you join me. This is the Cranberry Lip Oil with Tinting Effect from Essence. Everybody's kind of into this color changing lip oil, blush oil vibe. For example, this is the color changing blush from Hard Candy. I haven't used this yet. I just got it, but it's basically the Euphoria blush, which I kind of feel weird about. I know the drugstore is always going to go out of their way to try and dupe out high-end products, but that is kind of a blatant copy. And to be honest, Essence also is doing that with the Euphoria blush, and it's also green. So I feel a little bit weird about that. But this is a clear lip gloss / slightly pink lip gloss or lip oil that has a pH adjusting color to it. So as you can see, it looks clear. And then in like 20 seconds, it will be a more hot pink color. To be honest, the pH adjusting thing, it's always gonna be the same shade. Every single human has the same pH on their skin. So it's always gonna turn this color pink. Like that lip oil, this lip oil, that lip, whatever, it's all gonna be pink. It's never gonna come out like terracotta brown. It's always gonna turn out like this. I happen to like that color, so I'm fine with it. It's just really like, woo, the idea of the color changing really gets people, but just know it doesn't, it's always gonna be the same. So here you can see it's been like less than a minute and it's turned that sort of fuchsia pink color, but this formula is gorgeous, so beautiful. It feels amazing on the lips, really, really inexpensive. Again, you can get that at Ulta Beauty, and it does leave a little bit of a tinting / stain to your lips after the fact. So if you wanted to go in with a lip liner, focus on me, focus on me. If you wanted to go in with a lip liner and then put this on, once the oil wears off, you would still have a bit of that pink shade on your lip, which I think is really, really nice. Woo, okay, I'm tired. Let me know what your recent favorite from the drugstore is down below, or if you have something that you want me to test out from the drugstore based on what you know about me, or if you end up picking any of these up. I love hearing from you guys when you buy something from one of my recommendations and you absolutely love it, or if you hate it, tell me that too. Like, I'm always curious. I always want to know. All right, time to go outside with my girly pops and get some vitamin D. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video really soon. Bye.